Just a reminder that submissions for this are still open. Okay, I love you all. Now to the actual video. The challenge. Putting sunblock on him. Kuroken. Kuru crossed his arms, looking down at where Kenma sat playing on his Nintendo atop the towel they had spread out across the beach's sand. Kenma. Kuru smirked and plopped down on the towel beside his boyfriend. You're going to get sunburned, you know. Okay. Kenma still didn't look up from his game. That's a bad thing. Kuru paused, watching his boyfriend's thumbs deftly move across the game console. Kenma. You should wear sunscreen. Well, aren't you gonna put it on then? Kenma shrugged. Sounds like work. What if I put it on for you? Be my guest. Okay then. Smiling crookedly, Kuru repositioned himself on the towel so that he was sitting behind Kenma before grabbing the sunscreen bottle to smear some lotion onto the palms of his hands. Most people come to the beach to actually do beach things, by the way. Do they? Just in case you were wondering. I really wasn't. Kuru reached out his hands and gently started rubbing his boyfriend's shoulder blades. Kenma's thumbs faltered on the Nintendo's buttons for a split second, but they almost immediately resumed their quick pace. Kuru's smirk grew. Yeah, there's actually this whole thing called the ocean. And you're supposed to do this cool little thing called swim in it. Wow. Kuru's hands moved down Kenma's back, rubbing the lotion in small circles, and Kenma's finger movements across the game console grew slower. Crazy, I know. Yeah. Crazy. His smirk widening, Kuru leaned in to speak directly into his boyfriend's ear. You should really come out and swim. Kenma's thumb spasmed, hitting a wrong key. Kuru's smile grew. Kenma. His voice was low as Kuru continued to gently rub the lotion into Kenma's back. Yeah? You just lost the game. Oh. Kenma paused. I did. Kuru's smirk widened, and it was quiet for a moment before either one of them spoke again. Hey. His hands moved across his boyfriend's pale skin to start spreading the lotion across his stomach. Kenma's fingers faltered. You just lost again. Kenma paused once more, swallowing. Kuru's smirk grew. I'm distracting you. Are not. Are too. Are not. Kenma. What? Your character just died. Kenma furrowed his eyebrows, hunching over to squint at his screen. No, it didn't. But then Kuru leaned forward to rest his chin atop Kenma's shoulder, and his boyfriend's fingers froze. Now it did. The back of Kenma's neck flushed red, and he quickly pushed himself to his feet, setting the Nintendo down on the towel. Let's go swimming. Kuru smirked as he leaned back onto his hands. What happened to playing your game? You were the one who said we should do beach things. But since when do you listen to me? Kenma ignored his question, instead turning around and starting towards the water. Come on, Kuru. Smiling, Kuru pushed himself to his feet to follow him. I was so distracting you. We're not. We're too. We're not. Jogging a bit, Kuru caught up with Kenma to reach forward and link their hands, shooting a grin down at his boyfriend. We're too. Kenma didn't respond, instead just leaning his head against Kuru's arm as they walked towards the sea, and it was quiet between them for a long moment. Kuru? Yes, Kenma? His boyfriend bit his lip. If I get a sunburn, will you put the aloe vera on me? Kuru smirked down at the top of Kenma's head, letting go of his boyfriend's hand to sling an arm over his shoulder. Course. Kenma smiled a little against his side. Thanks, Kuru. Anytime, Kenma. Iwaoi. Iwaizumi frowned, crossing his arms against his chest and leaning back heavily onto the beach chair as he glared at where Oikoa stood on the sand, chatting cheerfully with a gaggle of girls in bikinis. Well, screw this. Furrowing his eyebrows, He pushed himself up off of the chair and grabbed the sunscreen bottle before starting towards the group, scowling. "Oi. Asshole." Oikura turned around to shoot a sparkling smile at his boyfriend. "Iwa-chan. You forgot to put on sunblock, airhead." Really?" Oikura winked at the group of girls. "I must have been distracted then." They giggled, and Iwaizumi's scowl deepened. "Come here." Pulling Oikura's arm so that his boyfriend was standing in front of him, Iwaizumi squirted some sunscreen onto his hand before beginning to rub the lotion onto Oikura's back. The setter laughed. "I can put it on myself, you know." "Shut up, Shitakura." Iwaizumi slowed the movement of his hands, glaring over his boyfriend's shoulder at the wide-eyed girls. "I can take care of it." Oikura smiled. "Okay, Iwa-chan." Iwaizumi's hands moved up his boyfriend's back, his gaze still pinned on the girls, as Oikura continued chatting to them amicably. "Don't mind him. Iwa-chan here is a bit of a control freak, you see." "Oh. If anybody's the control freak here, it's definitely you." Maybe." He shot a winning smile at the crowd of girls. "Iwa-chan and I have known each other so long, you know, that sometimes I get us mixed up." Iwaizumi shook his head, grumbling. "Bullshit." Oikura arched an eyebrow. "Oh. Does that mean you're calling me a liar, Iwa-chan?" "Yes. It absolutely does. What happened to being supportive? Don't be a smartass. I'm not about to support phony bullshit." "Well, am I phony bullshit?" Iwaizumi's scowl deepened, his fingers moving up to spread the lotion across Oikura's shoulders. "Not usually, no." "Or?" Oikura smiled, guiding his boyfriend's other palm across his waist to rest on the setter's stomach. "Iwa-chan." Iwaizumi furrowed his eyebrows. "Oi." The setter giggled. "Whoopsies. Must have gotten our hands mixed up. It can happen when you've been with someone for long enough, you know." Some of the girls laughed, and Iwaizumi rolled his eyes. "Don't be a smartass. That's a bit difficult, actually. Suppressing my natural genius really is no easy task." Shaking his head, Iwaizumi sighed before leaning forward to press a kiss to Oikura's lips. "Whoopsies." He pulled back and smirked at the setter. "Must have gotten our mouths mixed up." Oikura laughed, his cheeks dusted in a light pink. "Iwa-chan." "What?" "It can happen when you've been with someone for long enough, you know." "God. You're so ridiculous." "Me? I'm the ridiculous one?" "Yes, you." "Jesus Christ." Oikura laughed again, turning his head to where the girls had been. "Oh. Did we scare them off?" "Hopefully." Iwaizumi let out a huff, his voice a grumble as he brought the hand he had resting on Oikura's shoulder down to his boyfriend's hip and placed his chin atop the setter's shoulder. Oikura laughed. "There's no need to pout, Iwa-chan. They only wanted some pictures with the famous Oikura Toru." "Well, you sure looked pretty happy about it." "You'd be too. They clearly thought that I'm handsome." Iwaizumi frowned. "Hey. I think you're handsome, too." "Or, Iwa-chan." Oikura smiled, leaning his head against his boyfriend's. "I love you, you know. You don't need to worry." "I know. And I trust you, I really do. It's just, I don't know, sometimes it's just not very pleasant, you know." He sighed. "But I love you, too." Oikura smiled coyly. "So does that mean you'll put on the rest of the sunscreen for me?" Iwaizumi rolled his eyes as he unwrapped his arms from around his boyfriend's waist to squirt some more of the lotion onto his hands. "God. You're so spoiled. You're the one doing the spoiling." "Oi. Don't push your luck." But Oikura only smiled as Iwaizumi continued spreading out the lotion across his back. "Isn't it endless though?" Iwaizumi's neck flushed red, and he quickly looked away. "Shithead." Tsukkiyama. Tsukkiyama strolled forward, stopping to smirk down at the head popping out of the sand, the rest of Yamaguchi's body buried underneath. "Sucker." Yamaguchi pouted at his boyfriend, and Tsukishama's crooked smile grew. "That's not very nice, Tsuki." But Tsukishima only raised the straw of his juicer box up to take a sip. Serves you right. Really? How is this my fault? Tsukishima shrugged. It's what you get for going along with Noa and Tanaka. Yamaguchi let out a huff. Well, how was I supposed to say no? Like this. Tsukishima took another sip of his drink. No. Yamaguchi exhaled loudly. You know it's not that easy. Isn't it though? Yamaguchi pouted again, and Tsukishima's smirk grew as he crouched down next to his boyfriend's head, slipping off his backpack to set it down with his juicer box beside him. Hey. Yamaguchi pushed out his bottom lip further. What? Tsukishima leaned over to unzip his backpack and pulled out a bottle of sunscreen. You haven't put any on yet, right? Yamaguchi started to shake his head slowly, his eyebrows furrowing. No. Hold still then. Yamaguchi watched with wide eyes as, dabbing some lotion onto his index finger, Tsukishima reached out to gently dot a little onto one of his boyfriend's freckles. Sucky? The blonde dabbed another speck of sunscreen onto a different freckle. What are you doing? Putting your sunscreen on. But isn't this a little inefficient? Shut up, Yamaguchi. Tsukishima dotted a bit of the lotion onto another freckle, his eyes concentrated. Yamaguchi smiled a little. Sorry, Sucky. It grew quiet between them as Tsukishima continued to dab small blots of the sunscreen onto his boyfriend's freckles. There. Tsukishima pulled back to look at the white dots now scattered across Yamaguchi's face. He snorted, not even bothering to hide his smile. Sucky. You better not be laughing at me right now. But that just made the blonde smirk grow. Hey. Serves you right. For what? Ditching me for Tanaka and Noa. Yamaguchi rolled his eyes. Jealous much? Oh, shut up. Yamaguchi giggled, shaking his head. Sorry, Sucky. You can come along next time too, okay? And end up buried underneath the sand? No thanks. Yamaguchi pouted once more, and the tips of Tsukishima's lips tilted upwards in a smile. Here. Reaching into his backpack, he pulled out another juicer box and poked the straw through before placing it in front of Yamaguchi, tilting the straw towards his boyfriend's mouth. Drink. Yamaguchi furrowed his eyebrows slightly, and Tsukishima pushed the box closer until the tip of the straw was touching the brunette's lips. It's the flavor you like. Yamaguchi started to take a tentative sip. Thanks, Sucky. You're gonna rub the sunscreen in though, right? Tsukishima only shrugged, bringing his own drink's straw to his lips. Sucky. It looks cute. Yamaguchi's cheeks turned a bit pink, but his pout remained. Don't think you can call me cute and then I'll just forget. But Tsukishima simply smirked. Sucky. Drink up. You gotta rub it in. Tsukishima's crooked smile grew as he reached his hand forward to gently wipe away some of the juice on Yamaguchi's bottom lip. But you look cute. Yamaguchi's face flushed red. You're not playing fair. Tsukishima shrugged. You being cute is unfair. Yamaguchi's skin turned a deeper shade of scarlet. Hey. That's not your breaking the rules. What rules? The very important rules. Oh no. Sucky. The blonde laughed, lying down on the sand beside his boyfriend. Your protesting is cute too, you know. Yamaguchi flushed. You aren't. Sucky. What? You can't just. That's not. Let me guess. The rules? Yes. The rules. Screw the rules. The rules are very important. Your cuteness is very important. Sucky. But the blonde only laughed, closing his eyes against the sunlight. It really is. Just ask Tanaka and Noa. Yamaguchi paused, and when he next spoke, his voice was more serious. Sucky. You really don't have to be jealous, you know. I know. You can always come along. I know. He paused, breathing out. But it's fine. If I were them, I'd rather hang out with you, too. Oh come on, Sucky. Yamaguchi rolled his eyes, shooting a bright smile at the blonde. Everybody knows we're a package deal. Tsukkiyama studied his boyfriend's grinning face for a long moment, Yamaguchi's cowlick blowing a little in the ocean breeze, and the tips of the blonde's lips tilted upwards. Yeah, okay. Since you're so cute and all. Yamaguchi turned bright red. Sucky. Sorry, Yamaguchi, but it's the truth. Oh, shut up. Kyouhaba, profanity warning. Kyoutani stood scowling down at his boyfriend's back, where Yahaba was lying on his stomach atop a towel reading a book. Come on, Kentaro. Just suck it up and do it. Furrowing his eyebrows determinedly, he set himself down on his knees, reaching out his lotion-covered hands towards Yahaba's shoulders. Oh my fucking god, who the fuck is touching my back right now? Yahaba jolted up at his touch, and Kyoutani's frown deepened, his voice a grumble. Stop moving. Kyoutani, oh my fucking god. His muscles relaxing a little, Yahaba's chin fell back down onto the towel. What the fuck are you doing? Putting on your sunscreen, jerk face. Now stop moving. Yahaba tried to crank his neck back so that he could see his boyfriend, and Kyoutani scowled, his hands continuing to knead into Yahaba's back. I said stop moving. Why are you doing this? Because I am. That's not a good reason. It's good enough. No, actually, you just suddenly started rubbing your hands all over my back, so it is not good enough. Kyoutani's frown deepened as his hands spread the lotion across his boyfriend's skin. God, can't I just be nice without you questioning it? Nice? Kyoutani. I literally thought there was a stranger touching my spine. That's the opposite of nice. Kyoutani scowled, removing his hands and sitting back on his heels. Well, fine then. Hey. Yahaba frowned as he turned over on his back to look at Kyoutani. Why'd you stop? You said it wasn't nice. That wasn't what I meant. But Kyoutani didn't respond, only huffing out loudly and crossing his arms tight against his bare chest to glare at a point far above Yahaba's head. Kyoutani. What? Yahaba exhaled loudly, opening up his arms. Come here. His boyfriend still didn't move, his eyebrows set. Kyoutani. Love. Squaring his jaw, Kyoutani frowned at Yahaba's raised eyebrows for a long moment before letting out a huff and starting to crawl towards him. Crick. Yahaba smiled as his boyfriend lied down and set his head at the crook of the brunette's neck, wrapping his arms around the bleached blonde. Jerk. Yahaba started to play absent-mindedly with Kyoutani's short spikes of hair, and it was quiet for a long minute. When Kyoutani next spoke, his voice was barely above a grumble. It was a boyfriend challenge. You asked why earlier, and it was a boyfriend challenge. Ah, I see. Yahaba chuckled lightly. Just give me a warning next time, okay? Who said there's gonna be a next time? Me. Yahaba leaned forward to press a kiss to the tip of Kyoutani's nose, smiling. I did. Kyoutani frowned, his cheeks tinted pink and his voice a mutter. Presumptuous piece of ass. Yahaba laughed. Love you too, Kyoutani. Yeah, you little shit. Bokuaka. Bokuto grinned as he skipped up to his boyfriend, reaching out his index finger to tap his shoulder. Akashi. Akashi turned around with a hand raised to shield his eyes from the sun. Yes, Bokuto-san? Bokuto's smile widened, holding the bottle of sunscreen up against his chest. Hi. Hello, Bokuto-san. Is there something you need? Oh no, nothing in particular, Kashi. Okay then. Akashi turned back around, starting forward once more. Bokuto waited for a little bit before jogging up to him. Akashi. His boyfriend paused to turn around to face him. What is it, Bokuto-san? Bokuto flashed a sparkling smile at him, the sunscreen still held out in front of his chest. Nothing. Akashi studied his face for another moment longer before turning around again. Okay. This time, However, Bokuto didn't wait before reaching out to tap Akashi's shoulder once more. His boyfriend sighed, turning around with his eyebrows slightly raised. Is there something you'd like to say, Bokuto-san? Bokuto's grin grew, the bottle of lotion still in his hands. No. Bokuto-san. You've been following me around. Why? No reason. Bokuto-san. Please. The ace paused, glancing down at the bottle in his hand and biting his lip. Well. I guess I was just wondering, Kashi, if maybe. Yes. Bokuto sucked in a deep breath. If I could maybe sort of really put on your sunscreen for you? Akashi paused, his face neutral, and Bokuto made his eyes as big as he could. Pretty please, Kashi? Bokuto-san. With a cherry on top? Did you even put any sunscreen on yourself? Bokuto went silent, glancing down at the bottle in his hands. Akashi sighed. Alright, Bokuto-san, but let me put some on you first, okay? Bokuto grinned and held out the bottle to his boyfriend. Okay, Kashi. Shaking his head, Akashi uncapped the sunscreen and dotted some onto his boyfriend's cheek. Then, cupping his jaw in his hand, he used his thumb to gently spread the lotion out. You really should think of yourself first, Bokuto-san. Bokuto smiled, nuzzling into Akashi's touch. But I have you, Kashi. He hummed happily, his eyelashes fluttering shut. And I love you. Like, a lot. Akashi shook his head, but his lips tilted upwards at the ace's expression. Well, I love you too, Bokuto-san. A lot? A lot. Bokuto's forehead creased and he opened his eyes, the expression in his golden irises having turned serious as he searched Akashi's face. And you're sure? Akashi's thumb rubbed some more of the white lotion across his boyfriend's cheek, meeting the ace's gaze straight on. Yes, Bokuto-san. I'm sure. The end.